The First Battle of Mag Tuired, Echoes of the Tuatha Dé Danann. When we last left off, the Tuatha had arrived in Ireland amidst swirling mists, setting fire to their ships to signify their commitment to this new land. Their mystical treasures were unveiled, and tensions simmered with the existing inhabitants, the Fir Bolg. As days turned to weeks, the Fir Bolg, led by their king Eochaid mac Airc, grew increasingly wary of these otherworldly newcomers. They had ruled Ireland for generations and were not about to relinquish their land without a fight. Eochaid sent a sternly worded message to Nuada, the leader of the Tuatha Dé Danann, demanding an explanation for their presence and intentions. Nuada, aware of the delicate situation, proposed a meeting to discuss terms and avoid unnecessary bloodshed. He sent envoys bearing tokens of peace to King Eochaid mac Airc, with a message requesting a parley. The proposal suggested a neutral ground, a sacred grove known to both peoples as a place of truce and reverence. This grove, with its ancient trees and quiet streams, had long been a site where conflicts were set aside and disputes settled with words rather than weapons. King Eochaid, recognizing the gravity of the situation, agreed to the meeting, hoping to avoid the devastation of war. On the appointed day, Nuada, flanked by his trusted advisors and warriors, approached the meeting site. Opposite him stood King Eochaid and his chieftains, their expressions hard as stone.
We come not as conquerors, but as seekers of a new home.
Nuada began, his voice firm yet inviting.
We offer peace and the sharing of this land. Let us coexist and learn from one another.
Eochaid, a seasoned warrior with a deep sense of responsibility to his people, listened but remained unyielding.
This land has been ours for generations. We cannot simply yield it to strangers. What assurance do we have that you will honor your word?
He replied. Nuada responded, his eyes gleaming with sincerity.
Our treasures and our wisdom are our bond. We seek not to rule over you, but to live alongside you.
Despite Nuada's earnest plea, the Fir Bolg were resolute in their stance. The meeting ended without agreement, and both sides prepared for the inevitable conflict. The Tuatha, with their mastery of magic and strategy, readied themselves for the impending battle. They invoked their mystical powers and prepared their warriors. As they gathered under the ancient oaks, a murmur of philosophical debate arose among the leaders. Dagda, the wise and powerful, spoke first, his voice like a deep river.
We are not just fighting for land, but for the preservation of our wisdom and culture. Is it not our duty to share our light with this world?
Agma, the eloquent and strong, responded,
Indeed, Dagda, but we must remember that true wisdom also lies in knowing when to fight and when to seek peace. The Fir Bolg have their own history and pride. How do we balance our need for a home with respect for theirs?
Nuada, knowing the importance of morale, addressed his people with a calm yet commanding voice.
We fight not for conquest, but for a place to call our own. This land can be a sanctuary where our magic and culture flourish. Let our magic and courage lead us to victory, not through domination, but through a harmonious blend of strength and understanding.
Meanwhile, the Fir Bolg, known for their strength and valor, prepared their forces. As they sharpened their weapons and donned their armor, a quiet but profound discussion arose among their leaders. Eochaid, the wise and steadfast king, began,
Our ancestors bled and toiled for this land. It is our duty to honor their legacy and protect what is ours.
Sreng, the mightiest of their champions, added,
Strength is not just in muscle, but in the spirit. We must remember that our fight is not just against an invader, but for the essence of our heritage. Every tree, every stone is a testament to our forebears.
Another chieftain, Brisel, mused,
But what if these newcomers could be allies rather than enemies? Is there not wisdom in finding a way to coexist?
Enchanted rallied his warriors with a speech that resonated deeply, blending these reflections into a call to arms.
We stand for our ancestors and our land. Let no invader take from us what is rightfully ours. Yet, we must fight with honor, and remember that true valor lies in defending our home with both strength and wisdom. Peace left us when these others appeared on our shores. Let us seek our own peace. We must fight. So let our spirit be as unbreakable as our bond to our land.
The Fir Bolg, fueled by the righteousness of their cause and the wisdom of their leaders, prepared to defend their homeland with unwavering resolve. The dawn of battle day saw the two armies facing each other on the plains of Tuired. The ground seemed to tremble under the weight of their collective might. The Tuatha, with their shimmering armor and enchanted weapons, appeared as beings from another world. The Fir Bolg, fierce and determined, stood ready to defend their home. As the sun rose, the battle commenced with a ferocity that shook the very heavens. Warriors clashed, and the air was filled with the sounds of swords, spears, and the cries of the fighting men. Tuatha, wielding the Sword of Light, led his people with unmatched bravery. Opposing him was Sreng, the mightiest of the Fir Bolg champions, whose strength was legendary. In the midst of the chaos, Tuatha and Sreng met in single combat. The two champions fought with a fury that seemed to embody the struggle of their entire peoples. Sreng's powerful blows were met by Tuatha's skill and agility. The clang of their weapons echoed across the battlefield. In a decisive moment, Sreng struck with immense power, severing Tuatha's arm. Despite the injury to their leader, the Tuatha Dé Danann fought on with renewed determination. The battle raged on, with fierce combat and significant casualties on both sides. Warriors clashed with a ferocity that shook the ground, their cries echoing across the plains of Tuired. Tuatha, though severely wounded, continued to inspire his people, urging them to fight with every ounce of strength and magic they possessed. The air crackled with the energy of their spells and the clash of their enchanted weapons. The Fir Bolg, equally resolute, fought valiantly to defend their homeland. Among them, King Enchanted Mac Airk stood as a beacon of courage, rallying his men with every stroke of his sword. In the heat of chaos, Enchanted engaged in a fierce duel with one of the Tuatha Dé Danann's champions. Despite his formidable skills, Enchanted was mortally wounded. As he fell, the Fir Bolg's resolve began to waver. The loss of their king was a heavy blow, and the morale of the Fir Bolg soldiers faltered. As the battle continued, the superior strategy and magical prowess of the Tuatha began to turn the tide in their favor. The Fir Bolg, though brave and strong, found themselves overwhelmed by the relentless assault. The battlefield was strewn with the bodies of fallen warriors from both sides, a testament to the ferocity of the conflict. Eventually, the Tuatha's determination and tactical advantage led them to victory. Recognizing the valor of their opponents and wishing to prevent further bloodshed, the Tuatha extended an offer of peace to the surviving Fir Bolg. They were allowed to retain the province of Connaught, ensuring their survival and continued presence in Ireland. In the aftermath of the battle, Tuatha, despite the triumph, stepped down from his leadership due to his grievous injury. The Tuatha chose Bress, a leader of mixed heritage, in hopes of fostering unity between the different peoples of Ireland. The First Battle of Mag Tuired marked the beginning of a new era in Ireland. The Tuatha had secured their place in the land, and their magic and wisdom began to shape the destiny of Ireland. The Fir Bolg, though defeated, remained a significant part of the island's history, their courage and strength remembered through the ages. The tale of the Tuatha's arrival and the First Battle of Mag Tuired is a story of conflict and resolution, of magic and valor. It is a testament to the enduring power of myth and the timeless struggle for a place to call home. Join us next time as we explore the further adventures of the Tuatha Dé Danann, their encounters with the fearsome Fomorians, and the legendary battles that would define their legacy.
Only valor in battle brings lasting peace. The heart that is strong in adversity and steadfast in resolve knows no defeat.